A poster depicting Andrej Babis hangs on a bus stop near the town of Benesov, Czech Republic. It says, "This is not Babis land." David W. Cern Reuters. The parallels are easy to draw. A rich businessman who has played on anti-establishment and anti-politician appeals looks set to win the Czech elections this week, with voters going to the polls Friday and Saturday. But the real question is not why Andrej Babis, who has inevitably been described as a Trump-like figure, has so much support. It's why he has managed to increase his support since the 2013 elections. In 2013, Babis' party, the Action of Dissatisfied Citizens (ANJO), an acronym that spells yes in Czech, won 18.65% in national parliamentary elections. Its pitch was straight out of the new party-led businessman playbook: "Trust me, I'm a successful businessman, and I know how to get things done." The party became a junior partner in a coalition with the Social Democrats and Christian Democrats. Babis became finance minister. 1. It's the economy. Stupid economic performance is a key shaper of voting behavior in Central and Eastern Europe. Indeed, voters are exceptionally attentive to economic performance, a phenomenon political scientist Andrew Roberts called hyper-accountability. And just now, the Czech Republic is thriving economically. GDP is growing at its highest level since the economic crisis of 2007 at 2.9%, unemployment is the lowest in the European Union, and the state budget is in surplus for the first time in more than 2 decades. Although Babis left his post in the finance ministry this year, ANJO has been selling the story of a successful finance minister who improved ordinary Czechs' economic positions. 2. Remaining anti-establishment while in power. Political scientists Duncan McDonnell and Daniele Albertazzi's study of Italy and Switzerland shows that parties employing anti-establishment and populist appeals face a choice when they get into power: either shed the anti-light appeals and become mainstream, or try to maintain a protest stance and outsider appeal. Babis has followed the second strategy. Despite being finance minister and a deputy prime minister, he has continued to project himself as apart from the system. He frequently criticizes the old established parties, including his coalition partners, contrasting his experience of the effective world of business with the dirty world of politics. When he was accused of tax evasion and sacked as finance minister in May, he claimed it was part of a conspiracy to remove him from politics, a charge he used to bolster his anti-establishment credibility. Czechs have long been highly disillusioned with established politicians and parties. As a result, Babis' strategy of contrasting himself with the allegedly corrupt and incompetent established parties has been effective. 3. Populism, that's not only about protest but also delivering the goods. ANJO's pitch, however, has not just been an anti-establishment appeal. In 2013, the party's populist criticism of the political class was accompanied by a simple promise of a better future. It will be better in Czech, inspired by Barack Obama's slogan, "Yes, we can." In the run-up to this election, the party's marketing experts invested heavily in presenting real or alleged successes of ANJO's ministers. Those claims have included the country's economic performance, modernizing the military's equipment, and passing a new law on funeral services, all claimed as fulfilling ANJO promises. Difficult to place on a left-right spectrum, ANJO presents its lack of ideological clarity as a virtue. Its election manifesto, as political scientist Sean Hanley remarked, is an anodyne grabbing of technocratic promises. 4. Mingling with the people. Most Czech political parties have turned into electoral machines that are apparently only interested in voters at election time. Babis, acutely aware of the power of his anti-politics appeal, has invested a lot of energy into attending public events across the country, including concerts, sporting occasions, and, in a country with the world's highest per capita beer consumption, pubs. He used this strategy through his electoral term but intensified it after being removed as finance minister, emphasizing that this gave him more time to do what he loves: mingling with the people. He amplified his populist presence through social media, especially Facebook, displaying his man of the people appeal through pictures of himself drinking beer, wearing a fireman's uniform, and even urinating at a concert. And he has used social media to publicize his book What I Dream About, When I Have the Chance to Dream, O Jem Snim, KDYZ Nahodu Spim, which gives his 2035 vision for our children. The title highlights not just where he wants the country to go but also that he works so hard he does not have time to daydream. 5. Keeping the party together. Scandal has surrounded Babis. He's been accused of corrupt business practices and tax fraud and has been linked to communist-era security services. When other new parties in Central and Eastern Europe have been faced with the choices and compromises of holding office or the challenges of scandal, they have often split and splintered. ANJO, however, has avoided major splits. That's partly because Babis has a very centralized, leader-focused party organization. As political scientist Lubomir Kopacek has noted, Babis is more an owner than a chairman of his party. Most of the party's key posts are filled by his close business collaborators. The party employs an HR specialist who administers psychological testing to vet prospective members. At times, especially during the party's congresses, Anya resembles a Babis personality cult. Will Babis win? Europe has had a series of recent elections that have confounded pollsters. Many Czech voters say they have yet to make up their minds. One must therefore be cautious in making predictions. However, around a quarter of likely voters say they will vote for Anya. Even if this dips and the Czech government is formed without including Babis' party, the past 4 years show how a party run by a businessman can be electorally successful after its initial breakthrough. That lesson may resonate well beyond the confines of Central Europe. Vlastimil Havlik is Associate Professor of Political Science at Masaryk University in Brno and a Fulbright Fellow at Northwestern University. Tim Houghton is Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Political Science and International Studies at the University of Birmingham.